Well, a few weeks ago I started videoing again and said that I'd got some stuff to order on AliExpress. Well, 10 tri clamps later, and the 7 I still had, plus the 10 I had in here, um, because I needed to connect this coil pipe, hard piping. There's a story behind this because we're going to digress already, although it's still homebrew related ish. A story anyway. I've been after one of these for a long while, and this came up at a reasonable price. But because I'd still left the search thing on eBay, I got some more notifications, and doubtless there was several variations of these at some ludicrous prices. And then another one of these turned up, as you can see in the shot. We got its double the size brother. The guy had modified it, hence there's no tri-clamp ends on it anymore, these bits. So I've either got to get the weldable versions of these and silver solder them in, which is going to cost more than probably buying two compression fittings, and just screwing a couple of these on. So another order with AliExpress, because I think that is 1/2 inch pipe. It's 12.6 millimeters on my old Vernion. So yeah, we've already got an upgrade to the upgrade. But I ended up needing another T-piece, so I thought, bugger it, I'll order two, and some more threaded tri-clamp pieces. And we got this, because I didn't have that bit. The only bit that eludes me from being able to do anything is this bit here, because the offset is too much for one of the bendies. I've even got one with a threaded, and I've got another one of these coming, and I don't think I need it now, but it might come in useful for something, the way this is developing. So I wanted to take that one step further and hard pipe it with hard pipe. So this is a mock-up, I guess you could say. I basically codged together bits to make as much of it how it should be, or I envisage it. It's totally over the top, but given the price of silicone hose, it will pay for itself. Some bits I don't need, like these three-way valves, but because I'd already bought them for rubber hoses, the geometry of them works. The only thing I don't need is that my homemade filter is just there because that's the right length to make it work. So that could be substituted for a spool tube, and then that filter will go on the output of the chilling coil, because obviously I can utilize that for it's designed. It can be used for filtering the beer coming out, multiple things. And then I did manage to pick up a wire strainer for about 45 quid several years ago, which was about a third of the price of what they normally are. So that bit is sort of like, well, it's there and that way because that's basically the room I've got with the offset of the plastic pump. Now one day when these expire, I have got the brew pump 2000s or whatever the bloody hell they're called. So this is totally mental. I've got to order some more bits now because I need to put in wherever the fuck it is, that tap up there. So that means that pipe will have to be changed as well, because it's going to be too long, because I fill from back there in here. So we need to stop the water travelling down here. So we fill via that, fill the hot liquor tank up, then obviously heat it up. It comes out into the pump, through the pump, and can go back here, up here, if the ball valve will be opened, and recirculate to do that bit. It can also be diverted through up and through the HERMS coil and down into the mash tun. Or it can, I think, go this way, the back pipe, down through the other pump, and then you go back and into the mash tun to fill it up from the bottom, depending on how you have the valves. Again, this one is superfluous, but again, it works, the geometry of it works. So that's the sort of recirculation and hot water side, or the liquor. So then we go on to the business end. We're coming out the mash tun, down the T-piece, through the filter, through the pump, back up. It will go back there, through this valve, through the HERMS coil, back through here, and trickle back down onto the mash bed. And when you've done with that bit, you turn the valve off, and again you come out the mash tun, go through the filter, through the pump, in and through the whirlpool valve, and fill the boil kettle up. Then when you're steaming away and you want a whirlpool, you obviously open this valve. It goes through my filter, which will be replaced with a spool tube, back through the filter, so that any grain or hops or anything gets stopped there, goes through the pump, through the whirlpool. Now what the plan doesn't allow for is, after you've done that, you would have to put a pipe on and go through your cooling coil. So what I've done is put a T-piece in, left this because again this wasn't part of the plan. So you've done your boil and you now want to whirlpool and cool, because a lot of these plans just show, for the miracle of science, that you will put your hot work through, go through the coil, and it will come out the other end at pitching temperature, which generally doesn't happen. You have to recirc before you get it cool enough to do that. So the only bit of hosing other than that bit there would be for this piece I've added in with a tap, so that obviously any flow doesn't go through prematurely. So you can go through the coil, put a hose on here, you connect back to the tap, go through the pump and back round into the boil kettle, back through, down, and you're cooling and recirculating through that circuit to cool the work down. And then obviously when it's at such a desired level that it can come at that end at pitching temperature, you stop that recirculation, take the pipe off, blank that on, or turn that tap off. That goes into the hose then connects to your fermenter, and you carry on cooling and pumping out, regulating the flow there into your fermenter. So I can wheel my fermenter around and plumb it straight into the hose, let it fill up, pitch the yeast, wheel it back into position, job's done. Then 6 hours of cleaning. So the trip for this, I won it on eBay for 29 quid. And I killed two birds with one stone, because as some of you know, I've got another YouTube channel for model railway, so I went over to get some bits from a train shop there as well, which is near Brewers Select. But I messaged the guy because he had a load of crap in his garden, basically. He was a window cleaner, and he'd bought that to try and use it as a heat exchanger to heat up the tank of water in the back of his van for window cleaning. So utilising clean RO water through that bit and then heating with the engine coolant through the water pipe. So it doesn't really matter. I think that puts some people off, but obviously it doesn't matter what goes for this because it's not in contact with the bare bit. So it just needs a flush out. I'll do a caustic wash and run through everything when I get one of these operational. But he had some other scrap. As I was talking to him, obviously this experiment didn't work. It didn't get hot enough. It got it to 40 degrees. What he'd actually done is he bought 3 and he'd got 2 welded into a stainless steel tank. Cost him 750 quid for the fabrication and the parts. I'll insert a little bit of video or a still of the item. So what caught my eye after seeing or speaking to the guy and having his towel was those 2 coils on the top. So I went away. I was over the other side of Peterborough and I messaged him because I had a look on his other listings and he'd listed the scrap £5 starting bid, which is what he'd done with this coil, and only 3 people bid on it. So I messaged him and said, what do you want to let it go for? Seems I'm over here and, you know, I've got some cash. And he said, well, make me an offer I can't refuse. So I said, well, I got 40 quid on me. And he sort of balked because he'd obviously 750 quid down with a failed experiment. So he said, no, he said, I can go to 100. He said, you know, the fabrication stands me 750. I can't. So I said, no, it's too rich for me. And then that was it. I done me other bit for my other channel and hopped in my van and was driving back out of town. Went back the old route from where I used to work, pulled up, and I just decided to check the phone because I wanted to check me auctions that I was watching. And I checked my messages and he'd messaged me back again and said, oh, it's going to kill me, but if you can come now, I'll take the 40 quid. But you got to clear everything. And I posted 40 quid for his letterbox because he said he was going to be out. So I now have 2 coils. I think, again, these are 1/2 inch. I don't know if I'm not going to mess around changing this one. But if I build another pot, also I might try and join these 2 back together. But if anyone's got any suggestions on how I can obviously bend these out to make a HERMS coil so that I can have the 2 ports fitted on 2 bulkhead fittings. So I might order 4 bulkhead fittings, or because obviously I'm going to need two compression fittings for this. So I'll order another 2 for them, or 3 if I join them out. I mean, 2 might be too big for a 50 litre keg. So yeah, I ended up with that and the bizarre box stainless steel cabinet, which allegedly has got 2 of these in it. I presume they're probably partially butchered because looking at the outlets, that they've been cut or something. I don't know. So I'm tempted to grind the lid off that and open it up and see what they're like and whether they're removable, salvageable, and saleable, and keep the tank, which has it's got a V bottom, so I might be able to use it for my juicer as a collection tank, or it might just come in handy for a keg washer or something like that. You never know. So yeah, that's the story so far. So I haven't lost my touch. I still pick up bargains, but yeah, we're still we're jumping forward, and then there's a big pause. So again, we've got this far. Obviously some bits have got to change, so I've got to order some more bits, order more bloody dry clamps, and as you know, I'm on a bit of a limited income, so I'll have to do it in stages. But It looks mental. It's going to be a fucking nightmare to clean, isn't it? I was pissed about it the other night. I thought hoses would have been easier, but yeah, long term hoses are going to be expensive because you're going to keep changing them. I don't know, it's a mad folly, but they are. I've bought it all and done it all now, so say la vie, and it's been 7 bloody years, so it's not like it's dented me wallet really. All I wanted was a sight glass originally.